Well, hello everybody. We're going to talk about 3 simple ways to get borrowers to respond to your emails. And guess what? Good news. It's actually easier than you think. So Chad Weber here, and I'd like to welcome you to my next mini training video. This is going to be a really quick video, and you know what? We're going to cover something that I know annoys a heck of a lot of you folks, and that is when you get leads where your primary point of response is an email. No matter how excited you are about the lead, it's always in the back of your mind that, you know what, this is going to be like pulling teeth to get them to respond to these emails. And it drives you nuts because you sometimes send 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who knows how many emails to these folks, and they just don't respond. And it's obnoxious, like pulling your hair out. Why are these people not responding? Why did they bother giving me their information if they're not going to respond? So let's go ahead and jump right into the material here. There's actually 3 things you can do to help minimize this challenge. And the very first thing that you can do is make sure that your email or that your domain name itself has not landed itself on a blacklist, an email blacklist. And I can personally attest, because I've ended up on many blacklists over the years just because of the sheer volume of email I send. It takes a surprisingly tiny number of individuals to just go into their inbox and label your message as spam to land you on those blacklists. So there's a lot of folks that have been on these blacklists for a very long time, and they don't even realize it. So let's start with the first link there, the cleantalk.org. You can see I went ahead and I just bumped an email address in here that I know has been spamming me. So just kind of want to show you. I'm sorry, that's not the one that's been spamming me. I have one that's been spamming me and one that hasn't. So this one has not. But you can see what it did was it searched the web to see if there's any spam reports out on this particular email. Okay, so this one came back clean, but I'm going to show you what happens here when we grab one that's definitely a spam right here. Here we go. Got it? Copy. I'm going to paste it in here. And there we go. I'm just going to search. And there we go. So it's basically searching the web and searching these blacklists and looking for reports of spam. And 55 times this particular email address has been reported as spam. So just go ahead and run your email address in here and make sure that you're not on one of these lists. So the next thing that I can do here is I'm going to jump on over to the next link. And this one you can either do your email address, or you can also enter in your domain name itself. So for example, my email is cweber@averagejoelo.com, and I can run both my email and I can just run my domain to see if my domain, because it could just be your domain or your IP address. So you could put your IP or your domain in here and it will search it against all of these blacklists. And the reason why I try multiple devices here and methods of searching is there are quite a few different blacklists out there, and some of these tools will search some of them but not others. So just in the name of being thorough, I like popping and this time you can see I just put my domain name in here, but I like popping my domain name and my email address in all of these just to see what I get back. And if you're even on one blacklist, guys, as much as 20 to 30% of your emails could be getting blocked, in some cases even more. So they're not even going through. Now, this one right here, if you get a red result back, that doesn't necessarily mean you're on the blacklist. It just means for whatever reason they weren't able to query that particular server. So it does not mean that I'm on a blacklist, but I would go back through and double check and make sure that I'm not. All right, so I can see here that, check it out. So here's a blacklist. So obviously I need to get myself off of this list. So what happens is a lot of these websites will actually give you information. So if you just click on the info tab, and they'll tell you how to get unlisted. As long as you're not spamming, you don't have anything to worry about. Now, I do not spam, never, 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 never. And all it takes is somebody to be in a bad mood and just go through and click, oh, I didn't request this, even if they did. But the only way to get on my mailing lists is to actually physically request to be on it. So that's how I know I do not spam, right? So it should be very easy for me to just email these folks and send them evidence that I'm not spamming, tell them a little bit about, how I email, and they'll remove you. Okay, so as long as there's not repeated violations, you know, or what they consider violations, they should remove you pretty darn easily. All right, so again, 30 to 40% of your emails could be getting blocked just by being on one of these blacklists. Let's take a look at number 2. Just going to go back to my slides here. Okay, here we are. So method number 2 is simplicity. Now, check this out, guys. One of my all-time highest response rate emails was an email that all I send to folks that have requested information specifically from me on a particular topic is in the subject line, I use their name, and I'll say something like, let's say, for example, hey, Chad, I have a question for you, or Chad Weber, a question for you, or a question from Chad, something along those lines. So I'll try to either use their name or my name. You know, if there's good name recognition there between them and I, then I'll definitely use my name. Otherwise, I'll use their name in the subject line. So that's how I get the email opened. And then within the body itself, I just ask a 1 or 2 sentence question. And that question is usually, hey, a while back you requested some information about generating leads for your mortgage business, and you mentioned that you've been having challenges with this. Is this still something you're looking for help with? And then I give them either a deadline or an impending event, and I'll tell them why I'm asking this question, because I have such and such going on. And here's what's coming up. And this email has, in some cases, I've actually exceeded 55 to 60% response rate, which in the mortgage industry is almost unheard of. You know, if you just send out just a big blast to thousands of people, you're generally going to only get, you know, somewhere around a single-digit response rate. But getting a 50 to 60% response rate is insane. So we've actually modified and used this specifically with loan officers as well, emailing their leads. So just ask them if they're still looking for a house, or if they're still looking to reduce their monthly debt load or their high interest debt. You know, what was the problem that they were looking to solve? Mention that problem by name specifically in the body of your email, and then tell them why you're asking this question, and then just give them a simple way to respond. So in the instructions to respond, I just tell them, hey, respond to this, just click reply to this email, and just say yes or no if you're still looking for a solution to this problem. Okay, now the final solution, folks, for getting a higher response rate to your emails is video, video, video. Now let me tell you guys, if you have some leads that you're really excited about, or some leads that you really, really need the people to respond, send them a video. It's that simple. Either, I don't care if you just use YouTube and insert the YouTube video, or if you use something like BombBomb or one of those video email platforms, just create a darn video and send it to them. And you will see just how much higher your response rate is, because A, it's personalized and people appreciate that. Number 2, it's higher perceived value because they know more effort's gone into it. You know, a lot of people have caught on to the autoresponder thing, so they know that there are canned email systems out there. So that higher perceived value of this dude took the time to shoot this video and use their name in that video, so they know that you actually took time out of your busy schedule to chat with them. You know, the law of reciprocity kicks in, where they feel kind of guilty to not at least respond to it when somebody took the time, you know, to actually sit there and shoot this video. And they see you looking at them in that video, talking to them, they feel kind of guilty. And if you're not buying into what I'm telling you, just try it, and you will see that what I'm telling you here is absolutely 100% truth, folks. It works. And the fact that it's not spam, right? Because anybody can send out a canned email, but they know that this isn't spam, so they feel kind of special. They feel kind of special. I'm not just a number here, because this person mentioned me by name, and he's talking about my scenario, my situation. It will get you more responses. So if you're having trouble getting prospects to respond to your emails, then implement the ideas in today's session immediately. They're simple, they're straightforward, and they don't take a lot of time, so I recommend implementing ASAP. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave some comments below. Click like, all that fun stuff. The more responses I get, the more I'll keep these videos going, and I look forward to seeing you in our next mini training session.